Hey, Shalom Markin. I'm back for part two. Talking about J.Edgar Hoover. Alright, yeah. It says Spanish also found indications that Dickerson and Naylor ancestors, through Hoover's paternal grandmother, were involved in a post-Civil War Underground Railroad, which was used to assist light-skinned blacks to make the transition from black society to white society. Alright? Never heard this one before, but it makes sense. Uh, It says an academic study cited in McGee's book reports that more than three-quarters of African Americans have some white ancestry and that at least 23% of white Americans have an African American element in their background. Element, huh? Alright. It says Hoover's obsession with fighting those who were struggling for black liberation from what was a state of apartheid in the USA up until the 60s is well known. I'm going to skip down. For time's sake, it says it was also in 1956 that Hoover launched the FBI's COINTELPRO, all right, which targeted civil rights groups and leaders, among others. It says Hoover's FBI was literally an unofficial extension of the illegal racist groups that were burning down black churches in the South and lynching black people. At the time of Hoover's death in 1972, blacks still constituted less than 1% of FBI special agents. It says in the early 1960s, one FBI agent reported that in about 90% of the situations in which Bureau personnel referred to Negroes, the word nigger was used and always in a very derogatory manner. All right. I believe he was also, it may not say it here, let's see, scroll on down. Let's see. I do believe I had read somewhere that he was involved in the, let's see, let's see. Yeah, this guy was just a demon. All right. Here it is. Okay. Hoover had first waged a campaign against Marcus Garvey and the Black Nationalist movement from 1919 to 1923. Had something to do with, because he was a young, just got out of, school or whatever have you, and tried to broker a deal with the ships that Marcus Garvey and these people wanted to repatriate, I guess, uh, blacks to Africa. All right. I read that somewhere years ago, but in any case, it's the oh, it says throughout his life in the 60s, before he was murdered by persons unknown suspected of working for the U.S. government, the FBI ruthlessly targeted King. Thus, it is no surprise that when the news came through over the radio that King had been killed, shot in Memphis on April 4, 1968, there were jubilant cries of "They got the SOB" that reverberated throughout the Atlanta FBI office. One former FBI agent recalled another agent shouting, "We finally got the son of a bitch." All right. Let's see. And they go into Malcolm X, Black Panthers, 38 of whom were killed in suspicious circumstances. All right. And he was the one with this phrase here. Here's the real reason why we no longer have national black leaders like Malcolm X and Martin anymore. It's by white design. there will never be another black Messiah unless we create him. J.Edgar Hoover. Uh, and this quote here, it says, and this is so true. That's why would you want to stay in this piece of shit? It says, we are not free. They have us within a sophisticated form of slavery, a prison for our minds. Those that don't think for themselves never notices their chains. Let's see. Yep. There go that devil. During the 40s, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed African-American leader of the NAACP, Walter White, wrote, every year, thousands of light-skinned Negroes cross over and live their lives as white people. I am sure that the majority of these people who crossed over never told their spouses or children that they were of African descent. That's why I recommend, again, the movie here, Imitation of Life. Alright, so let's get a couple of scriptures here, because it's getting ready to shut down here. Let's see. This was a straight up demon. This is Romans 1:31. It says, Romans 1:31, it says, without understanding, covenant breakers without natural affection. Let's look into that natural affection. All right.
Strong's G 794. Astargas. Astargas.
Astargos. It says without natural affection, unsociable, inhuman, and unloving. And that's certainly what he was. So with that, hey, once again, call hello Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right. Shalom.